When it comes to attraction and intimacy, most men think only about the obvious spots. But here's the truth. What truly excites a woman and makes her feel connected goes far beyond that. In this video/article, we'll uncover 3 powerful places every woman secretly craves your touch, and none of them are what you'd expect. Master these, and you'll instantly stand out from every other guy. Most men make the mistake of thinking that physical touch begins and ends with the body, that it's all about where your hands go or how you move them. But the truth is, before a woman ever allows you close to her in a way that feels intimate, she needs something deeper. She needs to feel a spark of emotional connection. You could think of it as the foundation of everything that follows. Without it, even the most skillful touch feels empty, but with it, even the simplest gesture can send shivers down her spine. Women are wired to connect through emotions, through feelings of safety, trust, and attentiveness. A man who skips this step might get her attention for a moment, but he won't leave a lasting impression. On the other hand, the man who knows how to create that emotional connection before he even lays a finger on her, that's the man she remembers. That's the man she craves. Think about it. A gentle touch on her hand during a conversation, or brushing a strand of hair away from her face, can feel more powerful than 100 rushed kisses if it's backed by genuine emotion and presence. When you touch a woman, she's not only experiencing the physical contact, she's reading the intention behind it. Is it respectful? Is it caring? Is it confident without being aggressive? Every microsecond of that touch carries meaning, and women are incredibly intuitive at decoding it. If she feels that your touch comes from a place of desire mixed with respect, passion mixed with patience, she'll melt into it. But if she senses it comes from impatience, pressure, or just physical hunger, she'll pull away emotionally, even if she doesn't show it right away. This is why emotional connection is the first and most important place to touch a woman. It doesn't happen on her skin, it happens in her mind and her heart. Look her in the eyes when you talk, not in a staring contest way, but with a presence that shows you're actually there with her, listening and absorbing what she's saying. Nod slightly, react genuinely to her words, laugh when it feels natural. Let her see that her energy is landing on you and that you're giving it back. That's a form of touch too. It's invisible, but it's deeply felt. When you build this connection, you're telling her without words, I see you, I respect you, and I want you. And believe me, no woman is immune to that, because while flowers, gifts, and compliments can be nice, nothing compares to the magnetic pull of being fully understood. That's why some men, even without movie, star looks, or endless money, seem to have an irresistible effect on women. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's simply that they know how to touch her emotions first. Here's the beautiful part. Once you've established that emotional closeness, every physical touch that follows becomes 10 times more powerful. Holding her hand feels electric. A soft touch on her arm makes her lean closer. A playful nudge creates butterflies. Why? Because she's no longer just feeling your skin on hers. She's feeling the emotion, the safety, the attraction, and the excitement that you've built between you. Your touch becomes layered. It's not just physical anymore, it's psychological. And that's the kind of touch she never forgets. So remember this. Before you worry about where to put your hands, ask yourself, does she feel emotionally connected to me right now? If the answer is yes, then even the smallest touch will have an impact. If the answer is no, then no physical move will ever feel right. Emotional connection is the secret switch that turns ordinary touches into extraordinary ones, and once you master that, you'll unlock a level of intimacy most men never reach. When most men think about touching a woman, their minds instantly jump to the obvious sexual areas, as if intimacy begins and ends in the bedroom. But here's the truth, the real magic doesn't happen when you go straight for what you assume she wants. The real power is in the non-sexual touches, the ones that seem simple on the surface but speak volumes about who you are and how you make her feel. These are the touches that tell her she's safe, cared for, and deeply desired, not just as a body, but as a woman. Think about the last time you held someone's hand. Something so basic, so innocent, yet if you do it right, it can create an almost electric connection. Holding her hand when you cross the street or when you're sitting together at a cafe tells her, I'm here, I'm present, and I want to share this space with you. It's not about arousing her in that moment. It's about building closeness, weaving the threads of trust and affection tighter and tighter. And that closeness is exactly what makes her crave you on a deeper level. Another underrated touch is something as simple as placing your hand on her lower back when guiding her through a door or a crowded place. It's protective, but it's not possessive. It signals confidence and care. You're showing her, without saying a word, that you're aware of her presence and that you've got her. A light touch on the shoulder when you're laughing together, a playful tap on her arm when she teases you. These are the moments that build anticipation, that lay the groundwork for intimacy that feels natural instead of forced. Women are incredibly sensitive to these little touches. They notice the difference between a man who's rushing to get physical and a man who knows how to savor the moment, who knows how to make every small gesture count. The first kind of man might get her attention temporarily, but the second kind of man, he's the one who lingers in her thoughts long after she's gone home, because for her, the experience wasn't just physical, it was emotional, it was psychological, it was meaningful. Non-sexual touch also has the power to calm her, to relax her, to make her feel grounded. Imagine you're sitting together after a long day, and instead of immediately trying to escalate, you gently massage her shoulders or you brush your hand through her hair. In those moments, you're telling her that you see her stress, you care about her well-being, and you want to ease it. That kind of attention is rare, and it creates an emotional bond that's stronger than any quick thrill. What's fascinating is that when a woman starts to associate your touch with comfort, safety, and affection, her body naturally begins to crave more of it. She becomes more open, more receptive, and more drawn to you. You're not forcing anything, you're creating an environment where her desire grows naturally, and when it does, it feels effortless, almost inevitable. Men often underestimate how powerful these small, non-sexual touches can be. But the truth is, they are the secret language of intimacy. They communicate things that words can't always capture. They show patience, confidence, and genuine care. They show that you're not just after the physical, you're after connection. And that difference is everything. So the next time you're with a woman, don't rush to the obvious. Let your touches be light, thoughtful, and intentional. Hold her hand a little longer, guide her with a gentle touch on her back, play with her hair, or trace your fingers softly across her arm. These gestures may not seem dramatic, but they leave a lasting impact. They tell her that being close to her matters to you, that you enjoy her presence, and that you're capable of intimacy that's deeper than the surface. And when she feels that, she won't just want your touch, she'll crave it. Every woman is different, and that's what makes intimacy both exciting and challenging. What one woman loves, another might not enjoy at all. This is why the most attractive and confident men are the ones who know how to listen, how to pay attention, and how to respect boundaries. Touch is not just about where or how you place your hands. It's about the unspoken dialogue happening between two people. And that dialogue is built on communication and consent. Without it, even the most tender gesture can fall flat. With it, every touch becomes powerful, desired, and unforgettable. Many men fear the word consent because they imagine it as something robotic or awkward, like stopping in the middle of the moment and asking for formal permission. But in reality, consent is far more subtle, far more natural. It's about reading her body language, noticing her reactions, and creating an atmosphere where she feels safe enough to say yes or no without hesitation. If she leans into your touch, if her body softens, if her eyes light up, that's her way of saying she enjoys it. If she stiffens, pulls back, or goes silent, that's communication too. The men who succeed in intimacy are the ones who don't ignore these signals. They honor them. When a woman realizes that you're paying attention to how she feels, she relaxes. She trusts you, and that trust is incredibly sexy. A woman who trusts that you'll respect her boundaries is far more likely to open up, to explore, to lean into the connection without holding back. On the other hand, if she feels pressured, if she feels like her comfort doesn't matter, her guard will go up. Even if she doesn't say it outright, her body and her emotions will create distance, and once that wall goes up, it's very difficult to bring it down again. Communication also means not being afraid to talk openly. A simple whisper like, "Do you like this?" or "Tell me what feels good for you," can completely change the experience. Some men avoid asking because they think it makes them look insecure, but in truth, it does the opposite. It makes you look confident enough to care about her pleasure as much as your own. And when she feels that you're invested in her enjoyment, she'll be far more invested in yours. Intimacy stops being one-sided and starts becoming a shared experience that grows stronger every time you're together. Consent isn't a barrier to passion, it's the fuel for it. Imagine how much more intense it feels when you know she's not just allowing your touch, but actively wanting it. That difference is everything. It turns a simple caress into something electric, because you know it's welcomed, appreciated, and desired, and she feels the same way. She knows she can trust you to respect her, so when she gives herself to the moment, it's with full presence, not hesitation. The men who stand out are the ones who master this balance, bold enough to initiate but sensitive enough to adjust based on her response. They don't bulldoze their way into intimacy, and they don't sit back passively either. They lead with confidence, but they check in with her energy along the way. This creates a rhythm, a flow, where both partners feel seen, heard, and respected, and that, more than any specific technique, is what makes intimacy unforgettable. So if you truly want to know the secret of touch, remember this: it's not about memorizing the exact spots or following a script. It's about being present, paying attention, and making her feel safe enough to open up fully. Communication and consent transform touch from something physical into something deeply emotional and meaningful. And once a woman feels that with you, she won't just want your touch, she'll trust it, crave it, and cherish it every time. So, when it comes to touching a woman in the way she truly desires, remember this: it's never just about the physical act. It starts with the emotional connection, because without that foundation, even the most passionate touch will feel empty. It grows stronger with the power of non-sexual touches, those little gestures that show care, protection, and genuine affection, and it becomes unshakable when you add communication and consent, because that's where trust is built, and trust is what allows passion to flow freely. The men who understand these truths never have to wonder why their touch lingers in a woman's mind long after the moment has passed. They don't rely on tricks or shortcuts. They rely on presence, respect, and the ability to make her feel safe and desired at the same time. When you master these three places to touch, not just her body, but her heart, her emotions, and her trust, you create an intimacy that no other man can compete with. In the end, it's simple. A woman doesn't just want your hands. She wants your attention, your patience, and your understanding. Give her that, and every touch you share will feel unforgettable.